once more we find ourselves here. We have to reshuffle the deck and restart the game. Some favorites, they didn't make it work. Some underdogs ascended, and some Cinderella stories have been created. That only has been stage 1, right? We gotta see how the history will be written for stage 2. This is the draw show. We're gonna take a look at the groups that we're about to create. And the great thing is that I'm not responsible for any of that, so I don't have to listen to any Twitter DMs saying I've rigged this thing. Therefore, I got Charlie on my right-hand side, who's gonna take care of all that. Charlie, stage 1 has been wonderful. How much did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it's been great. And thanks for having me. Happy to be here again. And I'm looking forward to our first interactive group draw.
We have a group. You say it, interactive is the key word that we have right here. First of all, what we want to take a look at is the little draw process we have created. You might remember the one from the last time, but obviously this time we have a little change here, Charlie. So please, could you explain what's going on?
Yeah, sure thing. So the tournament format for stage 2 is going to be the same as stage 1. So a quick TLDR of that is that we're going to have 2 groups of our 12 teams split into 2 groups of 6. In that group, they'll play a round robin, best of 3, and then the top 3 teams from each group will qualify for playoffs where they'll fight for the spot at Masters. But the draw show will be a little bit different to last time. So we'll have our 12 teams will be split into 2 pools of 6. Pool 1 will be the 6 teams that qualified for playoffs in stage 1, and pool 2 will be the remaining 6 teams. But remember, this includes Team Focus that promoted the VCT in April. So, the draw show. Pool 1. With your guys' help from home, we'll be voting and we'll be picking these teams randomly and then putting them into groups. Group A, then Group B, Group A, then Group B, until all the teams have been placed. And then we'll repeat it for Pool 2 and we'll have our 2 new groups for Stage 2.
Easy as that, right? And for some of you who didn't really get that yet, don't worry. We'll do it live for you so you can experience all of that. But talking about live for you, we got a few teams ready that are live with us to experience this group draw and see who they're actually coming up. We got them over there in the back. Well, of course, I see Kundi. Who else do I see there? Durkee, I got with me as well. We got some players. There's also Scream, of course. Doombros, I couldn't imagine to not see him. The entirety of Ascent is joining us, so I'm very much looking forward to their reaction. And of course, representatives and Focus. We got a lot of people here. You know what? I'm very much excited to get their reaction on what we have ready right here. So let's take a look. What is Pool 1? Who is participating in Pool 1? I'm going to tell you that right here, as this consists of the players and teams who made it into the playoffs of EMEA. You know those 6 teams for certain. I am more than sure that you do. So with those 6 teams, right, we're going to start our Pool 1. This is where we're going to start and take the first few cards, as this right here is our opportunity to show you how it works with your interaction. So I would ask you, Charlie, please put those cards over there, show them to the people, and show them this is all fair and square. Because the most important part right here, you see there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you are the ones that are able to vote for those. We'll start a vote very soon, and you'll just tell us what the order shall be like. So it's in your hands. You basically decide who's in Group A, who's in Group B, and all those things are pretty much down to you. You overall have 90 seconds to do this voting, and that is going to be quite exciting. Charlie, the cards are set as far as I see it. Thank you very much for that. But before all of this, right, we want to hear what the teams have said. Who would they like to face? Who is their arch nemesis? We got a few team statements right here ready for you.
Upcoming qualifiers would probably be either M3C or FPX, purely based on the fact that I want to be able to play them again and show that we're a lot stronger than what we showed last time against these teams. I think we can beat any team, so that's why I'm also not scared of any team. Like, I don't mind playing any team in Europe, as long as that we can play to the standard that we know we can, and that we actually deliver on the day.
So the team I would like to play in my group is probably Ascend. I really respect them as a roster, and I think we didn't get to play them last time, so it would be cool to have a new matchup for us and get to play CNED, get to play Monster, and all these great players that we haven't faced before yet. The team that I would want to play the least, it's probably M3C.
Hello everyone, Naz with you. VCT second stage gonna start soon, and I just want to say that me and my team just want to play against every team. Is that gonna be possible? But as you know, we lost to G2 and Fnatic, and maybe we'll have a chance to fight with them one more time. Bye bye.
Well, it looks like Nats was on vacation. FPX definitely don't want to face them when they are refreshed. But you know, all of that we are able to find out. That is the great part. You know, I was seeing right there when also Doombros was saying he'd like to face Ascend. CNET was clapping in the background, you know, so they're very excited for that one. It's going to be a great matchup as well if it happens, right? We're still on the verge of making it possible. The last few seconds of the vote is about to finish soon, and then we can start it off. This is just Pool 1, once more for your information, and that Pool 1 consists only of the teams that have made it through playoffs. So those will not contain your big, for example, your focus, but we're going to take a look at it just a bit when we head over to Pool 2. We're just here for Pool 1, where basically it's sort of the winner's pool, right? Only the ones that have flourished, made it to Masters, and so on and so on. But you know what? We can start. We'll draw the first card for Group A. Charlie, number 2, please. And who's it going to be? Let's start out the list. G2 will take the first slot over there in Group A. And so, as this is about to get filled and filled one by one, just use your imagination to see it, and there it pops up. G2 Esports taking the first slot over there in Group A. And this brings us to number 3, Charlie. Please go on. And we bring in Guild. That is going to be the first slot off Group B, as a team that, you know, last stage started nearly flawless, was definitely not making as far as they would have wished. So we now have already 2 teams set, and we go on with number 5, please. And this brings us to a second team of that group. It's Fnatic that joins that Group A. That's pretty amazing, to be very honest, as Lurke is not even cracking the slightest smile. He's not even into it. You know what? He says free win again. I don't really need that at all. So as he's facing sometime throughout the weeks, G2, we're going to see how that one will go. So going further, number 1 is the next one, please. And it is Team Liquid. The second place of that Group B is going to be filled by them, as they're taking the slot over there. And Scream seems quite content, quite happy. Decent one. Yep, shaking his head and nodding, making sure that this sounds all right and dandy. So 2 more cards for that first pool, and it is number 4, please. Which leaves us with Fun plus Phoenix, short FPX. So if I did my maths right, this gives Doombros the excitement of not playing Mac. But I could have done my maths wrong, but I'm quite convinced I've done my maths right. And this brings us to the final slot, Charlie, of that Group B. So please, in a second, be so kind and show us that card. And it is MAC, M3 Champions, the team that most definitely have to defend not only a title, but a reputation at this point in time. And this leaves us with the first 6 teams that we have now drawn. Quite exciting, quite interesting. I like the G2 Fnatic composition over there we have in Group A. But you know, this has only been a few of those. You once more can go for nothing else than a voting in just a second. So don't worry about it, right? We get ourselves the Pool 2, please, Charlie. You see. Yes. And there we see. And we just wait for a second. Don't shuffle yet, my friend. We still have to keep the patience up. You know, we still have to keep the excitement up over there. As this is our Pool 2. Those are the ones who didn't make it to playoffs, played relegation, or won promotion. So, as you see right here, you know those 6 teams now. The time to shuffle. Charlie, please. And who could it be? Do we see the German rivalry of Big versus Focus come up? Could it be something similar, where once more we might see a London United and a Na'Vi in the same group? It's all possible. It is all possible. So now I can tell you the vote has started. So this basically means that you guys are capable for 90 seconds to let us know which order we shall go for. But before all of that, let's once more hear from that second pool a few statements. What kind of matchups are they looking forward to?
Hey guys, this is London United VALORANT coach Joint. On Challengers 2, I really would like to meet some of the teams we didn't play in the first Challengers. One of them is for sure G2 Esports, because I respect them a lot as a team. I also respect them a lot, their coach Pipson. Secondly, I would like to have a revenge against Natus Vincere, because it was our first experience in official challenges. And obviously Focus.
Yo guys, Buch here for Focus LAN, and for the upcoming group draw of VCT, I would definitely like to have Big in our group because it's a rivalry between us and I just want to beat them again. For the rest, I don't really mind who we get. If you want to succeed, you need to beat everyone anyway. I want to avoid definitely M3 champions because in my opinion it's the strongest team in the region, and also LDN and FPX are both looking really strong.
We really would like to have Focus in our next VCT group, because in last promotion tournament we lost to them quite hard, and we will want to have the revenge on those guys. But if we go to that revenge road anyway, there's 5 other teams also that we lost in the last VCT group, so maybe we wanna face all of those teams and let's see who is the better team now.
Ya aslında çok fazla fark etmiyor gruba kimin geldiği ya da bizim hangi gruba düştüğümüz. Favori takımınız var mı diye sorarsanız, yani FPX ve eski Gambit takımını çok beğeniyorum. Yani mecbur kalmadıkça onlarla aynı gruba düşmesek.
I want to play Fnatic Angle because they beat us last season, so I want to beat them and take revenge, and I'm not scared of anyone.
And for me personally, I would really like to have a rematch against BBL as well, just so we can prove that we're better than them. There's no teams that I really want to avoid, but I think it would also be nice for us to have a chance to play against one of the CIS teams. So that's either FPX, Navi, or Master Street champions.
I'm very sure Kundi wanted to say face and nothing else. So let's see who they are going to face. Who are all those 6 teams are fighting out against? We already have drawn 2 groups with 3 teams, and now we're heading into the second one. So let's take a look. What is our first number for the moment as we are heading for number 3, Charlie? So who joins Group A? As we're witnessing right here, it is Ascend joining Fnatic and G2 at this point, as well as FPX. And you see them cheer. They're happy with that. They can deal with that. Seems like they're quite all right with it. Yep, that looks like excitement. And so we have 4 in Group A already. And this brings us back to Group B, where Charlie, please, number 2. And as easy as that, it is Navi joining them over there in Group B, which makes the group even more and more stacked. 2 CIS teams already over there, which makes it kind of scary to me. I'll be honest with you about that. But we go on and on. So this brings us to number 4, Charlie. Let's fill up that Group A. OG London United is gonna join that group. And you know what? It seems like Joint is getting his wish, as he was looking forward to beat or face G2, as they very much respect him. Very excited. That's the maximum we can probably get. Good. This was all I was looking forward to. And this leaves us with only 3 teams at that point in time. So it is number 5, Charlie. BBL. And so, the last remaining Turkish team, the representative of one of the strongest regions we have, EMEA, gets sent into Group B. That leaves us with only 2. Only 2 more teams that we can draw. And that means I'd like to have number 6, please, Charlie. And this is Focus, as they're ending up in that Group A, which looks quite deadly, to be frank. We're seeing nodding heads, not too many smiles and too much excitement, but you know it is what it is. You gotta deal with what you have. And this obviously brings us to number 1, Charlie, the last and final cards that we're about to draw. And it is Big, the team that lost their godfather, still looking for replacements to fulfill their expectations. And so, yeah, you saw with Durkee, who could have guessed? Happy? Happy. Yep, that looks like a happy one. And so we see it once more. Group A consists of G2, Fnatic, FPX, Ascend, OG London United, and Focus, with Group B starting off with Guild, Liquid, M3 Champions, Not Sincere, BBL, and Big. And I tell you one thing here, that is really exciting. Thank you very much for the teams for joining. First of all, it was a pleasure to see their reactions. It's always fun to see when they're cheering around and looking quite excited who will be their opponents. And as we're saying bye-bye to them, thank you very much, lads. Thank you for the waves. See you next time. I mean, we have enough weeks where we see each other, so I'm looking forward to that. One cam is already turned off. Charlie, those are looking like really dang exciting groups we got here, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the group draw is great. I think we've got some really exciting groups, and hopefully we can get some teams to take down NA at the next Masters.
I'm more than convinced that is going to be the case. But you know what? For the moment, we're going to head out. But before you go, before you ask the question, hold on, is there no delay added? Don't worry. For competitive integrity, we're also adding our usual delay, and this means we're going into a longer break. So you better don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon with you with the Game Changers Grand Final of EMEA. So better don't turn off. Stay right here, and see you guys next time.